I'll just turn some heads here and set this little thing up. This is not stealthy. My initial reactions on this are, it would not be good in a storm. So the gear inside is probably going to provide most of the structural integrity for this thing. So let's throw it in there. My initial reaction is that there is actually a lot of room in here, but holding it open will be the tricky part. And begin with the air mattress. And I got one of these little frivolous edition, the auto inflator, and I'm surprised. It takes like 2 AAA batteries, and I've inflated this thing probably 6 or 7 times, and it's still going strong. So hope for more of that today. Okay, that's kind of good. The extent of the gear you can fit in here is a backpack. So you could probably fit 2 people in here, though, in an absolute survival situation. You wouldn't want to hang out in there too much, but this little thing could save your bacon in a serious emergency, because survival is a great skill, a great art, but it is not very pleasurable usually. So this thing is paper thin. I don't know how long it would last. This is pretty much a single-use plastic, but you can see right through it basically, and hopefully it'll hold the heat in tonight. But getting thirsty. It sets up reasonably quick, not as quick as the hammock, but these are not comparable shelters by any stretch. So with no further ado, time for step 2, and I have to give a shout out to beautiful wife who actually got this as an anniversary present, and it's going to good use. Get the fire started in a little bit here. Oh, is that good? Is that ever good? Does seem like there could be some rain coming, so that'll be a great test for this guy. Torch and secret ingredient. That should do just fine. Oh, that's a little obvious. That's really obvious. Now, while we got light, I'm going to do this meal prep stuff. I'm going to be doing savory crepes tonight, so none of a blender. This will do, I do believe. And it's your real basic crepe recipe. Flour, milk, eggs. I don't have a specific fancy recipe I use. cup of milk. A little bit more. Couple cock-a-doodle-doos here. And salt. And I'm going to need some melted butter. So I know just how to do that. Looks like a couple tablespoons to me. Deja vu. Melted butter. Then we blend it. And there you go, camping blender. Of course, the irony of all this is that it's been an absolute drought this year, and I could have picked a better tent, but this will give it a good test. So that's clearly blown over, and there's nothing more to worry about. So let's say we cook up some mushrooms that'll be going into this drink later on. I'm getting hail in my mushrooms. As much as I'm a sucker for punishment, I just don't think it's safe to sit in that aluminum-coated Mylar emergency tent during a thunderstorm. This should pass soon, but as soon as it does, it's probably going to be dark. So we've just got the food prep done, and now we just sit and wait it out. To keep the fire going through that storm, I pretty much had to burn all the wood. I'm on the last few pieces now. So I'm not going to mess around with crepes right at the moment. I got my emergency hot dogs with me. I'll cook those up right on this nasty old grill. And in the morning, it's going to be breakfast crepes, I guess. Nothing wrong about that. I've got everything I need. And it should be okay. Things look like they stayed pretty dry. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of moisture in the structure, but that is to be expected for a $10, $15 emergency shelter. Let's cook these up, get to bed, and deal with these problems in the morning.
I heard about the Green Mojave probably like 5 or 6 years ago. I think what's unique about the Green Mojave is how technical, physical, and mental it is. You have to try really hard moves above really thin gear. But then there's also like really technical climbing. There's just a lot of skills that I ended up using. I was just so impressed by like how intricate it was as a route, but I was definitely like pretty nervous when I was trying to lead it without having really rehearsed it. I found some ways to like pre-place some gear to work out the beta, but then still lead the climb. And that felt really cool because I was kind of working with my head in like a really incremental way. The first boulder problem isn't super hard, but it's above a red walnut, and you have to do this kind of funky, like work your body around the crack move. The second boulder problem is the hardest part.
Okay, clearly not what I wanted for dinner, but breakfast does promise to be pretty delicious. So I will thank you to everybody who has donated to the Beer Donation Fund. Breakfast should be good. More adventures to come. Things kind of got a little crazy tonight with the weather, so I never quite know what I'm going to get, particularly with that weather station down right now. I would have been able to, well, I don't know. It would have probably still ended up the same way. I'm going to crawl into the tent there in a second and hunker down, so to speak. In the morning, we'll assess the situation, grab a little more firewood, and cook those crepes up because I'm really craving them right now. And we're at that beautiful time of year where I don't need a cooler because the temperature is so cold I don't need them. I just leave the food right in the car and all will be good. Oh, yeah. Right on. Okay, of course, this is a very temporary emergency shelter. Things did hold up pretty good. There's a little moisture in the sleeping bag. That's okay. I'll crawl in here, see how it does for the night, and give you the review in the morning before we have our crepey breakfast. I'm excited about that. So I could probably sleep under the stars tonight, but we know how that's been going lately. And it's going to be about 5 degrees Celsius, the same as before. Fairly chilly, 40 Fahrenheit, about refrigerator temperature. So feeling cozier already. This stuff does seem to reflect some body heat. Move these out of the way. There we go. See you guys in the morning. Good morning. That went about as well as could be expected. It was a bit chilly, but the sun is up and it's looking like a really nice morning. So I'm going to get up and conquer the day. So basically the biggest issue with this shelter I found is it collects the water underneath. So this doesn't hang out further than the floor. And of course it fills up with water. So I wanted the sleeping bag to get pretty wet. And although it was a little bit chilly, it was survivable, but then it was also not very cold last night. But in an actual survival situation, a half a degree warmer or a degree warmer is the difference between surviving and not surviving sometimes. So it's got uses, but I don't know. I think if I were setting this up, I would, if I were setting it up in a serious survival situation, I'd probably try to tuck this in a little bit more in the bottom and attach this somehow onto the rope a little bit better so that it kind of hangs over like a ridge there. And that's my 2 cents about this, but it's noisy, it's not stealthy, but if you're using one of these, you probably want to be seen. So I don't think I'll add one to my kit, but I'm going to keep looking for an option somewhere between this and a tarp. Tarps, I have a couple of them, but even the good backpacking ones, the like polyester ones or whatever they're hard to fold back up and get right back in the bag again. So I'm going to continue my search for something I can keep in the backpack for those nights when I'm not sure how the weather's going to go. I'm going to see what happens when I dump this batter in this pan. One of the main reasons I brought emergency dinner, and I'm glad I did, was that I've made crepes once before, and they ended up awful. So it was a bit of an ambitious thought, thinking that if I couldn't do it on the stove in the house, you know, campfire's got to be easier, right? So let's see what happens here. Yeah, a lot of batter in that one. Oh no. Okay. Just make it the whole pan. Why not? Part of the problem with this pan is I got it from a thrift store. This is one of these dollar store, or not a dollar store, the infomercial pans, and Gotham Steel or something. But given that it came from a thrift store, there's a warp in the middle there. So when I make a crepe, like just now, all the batter runs to the edge. I hopefully got enough of it in towards the middle that this shouldn't be a total disaster. But you never know, this is me. That's a really good sign. I think this could happen. Unreal. Now we're getting somewhere. Right on. Swiss cheese, some mushrooms, some prosciutto. Yum. There we go. Mushrooms for good luck. How about that? How about that little guy? Yeah, looks like a camping meal I've ever seen one. Yeah, I got to do this in the future now that I know I'm not completely terrible at making a crepe. The moment of truth is going to tell me what I need to know. Yep, this is joining the rotation of camping meals. Anybody has recipe suggestions for savory crepes, or possibly sweet ones, please let me know. And that's a good way to start the day. This will give me the fuel I need. To solve that issue, for those that wonder, how do we fill this thing? It's just a convenient, lightweight water bottle for me. I don't actually put my fires out with bottled water. We got a tap right over there and fill this up with. Yeah, right on. That packed up super quick. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll give an update here on our boat situation. We're supposed to be on that river right now, but it's really low. We got ambitious. We built the thing really heavy, and it's at the point that it needs those functioning drive wheels on it. And we got the back pretty much figured out, but as far as the drive system, we need to get a winch and have it machined to actually drive those wheels. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. And despite it being only the first day of fall, around these parts, that's the end of summer. You know, we're losing leaves as we speak, quicker and quicker every day, and the water level has dropped incredibly low. So we need a lighter boat to go down the river, and we're building one. We have more barrels. We got a ton of those rain barrels. So what we're doing right now is we're building a simple 6-barrel, real simple frame. It'll be worse than the boat we took out last year, put it that way. Just a simple platform for me and Crazy Neighbor to go down the river, camp along the way wherever we can, and get all that fun stuff accomplished. I just looked at the river the other day, and I wish I was floating down it right now. So we're hoping to leave within the next few days here. So that's where we are there. And I'll probably get another video filmed, something stealthy, I think, to go up for next Thursday. The bad news is this was kind of a lame video, but the good news is we're back on a good Thursday schedule right now. And I've got all my paperwork and everything for my accountant pretty much sorted out, which I've also been going through. So at this point, that's where we stand. We'll be hitting the river very shortly. And yeah, there is a highway back there. That's the joy of Alberta campgrounds. Many of them are so close to the highway unless you drive several hours out of the major centers. So you kind of get used to it. You guys, I'm sure, aren't. And I know that microphone is really picking it up. So that's where we're at. I'll be on the river. Have a good stealth probably next week. Something next week for sure. Probably a stealth. I don't know. But before I sit here and ramble yours right off, I'll quit while I'm ahead and get out of here. Thanks everybody for watching. If you do like it, please consider subscribing, just to stay up to date on, you know, it's not always a Thursday, unfortunately. I do try to do the Thursdays, but you know, with unscripted stuff, sometimes stuff shuffles around and it ends up on different days. So if you're subscribed, then you'll be sure to see it if there's a late one that pops up or if something pops up early. So cheers everybody, and I'm gonna get out of here and go do some uploading. So we'll see you all next week.
I'm John. I wanted to quit smoking for years. I tried several different times. Nothing seemed to work for me, but I didn't give up. Eventually, I found the right doctor, and together we came up with a plan that finally worked by using 2 quit smoking medicines and getting counseling. My tip is, keep trying. You only have to quit for good once.
You can quit. For free help, text quit now to 333-888.
When the world gave them setbacks, science gave them bounce backs. And when your vet delivered life-altering news, science delivered life-changing nutrition. Hill's Prescription Diet. Science does more.
Been foil lately. I should probably move on to on a stick for deep fried. And balance it out with a salad. Oh, this worked out perfectly. 3 thumbs up. This is something I would do again for sure. Let you know the reason I'm doing this meal tonight. I like to support local, and I went to the small town grocery store, and their freezer was down. I initially planned Swedish meatballs with some asparagus, but the asparagus was late in the season. Those asparagus shafts are like the girth of a hot dog, right? Like they're late in the season. They're not those early spring ones that are nice and easy. These things you can probably cut them in half and count the rings. So I looked through the freezer department. Pierogies were in there. You know, the sausage and onion. I don't know. This is satiating. I love being satiated. So obviously pretty comfortable in here. Do this. not even a problem. The weather's beautiful. What more can you ask for? So about time to crawl into sleeping bag here and sit back and listen to the crackle of the fire and drift off to dreamland. All right. Of course, part of the joy of Central Alberta campgrounds is the road noise. They go a little further to get away from civilization, but I'm just very pleased that these places exist and that they're relatively well treed. You know, love nature. Can't ask for a whole lot more. So, see you guys in the morning.
Good morning. What a fine sleep. I'm feeling fresh as a biscuit and ready to gallop through the day. This sunshade is just perfect because I managed to sleep in a little more than normal on a camping trip. Usually the sun is beating right through the windows of the tent very early in the morning and it gets sweltering hot, but I found this very refreshing, easy sleep. Had a little wasp buzzing around this morning, but other than that, this worked out great. This has been pretty much the weather that I normally see through most of the summer here. Not a lot of wind, not a lot of rain, pretty boring but nice weather. So that's how I can get away with this type of stuff. Like, I don't think it would have blown off in any serious way. Definitely not as badly as that bubble wrap shelter. This is actually pretty secured. So I'm pleased with all of this. Your results may vary based on your location. Of course, very special thanks to all the fine supporters of the channel. Happy birthday to all of those of you having birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, congrats on your new jobs, etc. Everybody lets me know, and I just scroll the names for everybody to see. You're all awesome folks. Will it come down as easy? I think so. And the moment of truth says, get the bugs out of it first. Spider dangling there. Okay. First time taking it down, not bad. Next part of the new gear trials is, does it fit in the bag it came with? Got off to a good start so far. Let's see. Okay. Will it bag? Yes, it will. See? Walk right on off. Wow, I put all the food stuff in here last night. It smells like there was an explosion in an onion factory in there. So, goodbye, new car smell. I have to take this into a car wash today and do a little detailing work because I've been putting it through a lot of camping and I feel pretty bad. So thanks everybody for watching yet another unsolicited camping video. If you feel like you're up to the challenge, please consider subscribing
because these they're up pretty much every week. Wrap it up on a quick few odds and ends. I ordered a whole bunch of that rail to build my homemade railway, and there's supply chain issues. So these are not a normally used piece of equipment from Home Depot. And Home Depot, it tends to be about $5 cheaper per rail than actual fencing supply stores. So I'm going to scavenge the remaining inventory I can store by store. So it's going to be a lot of driving to every Home Depot in the area to wipe them all out of top fence rails. So heads up, if you need one or two of these things, get them now in the Edmonton area, because I am going to be swooping in and getting all of them. So public service announcement there. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. I'm going to be at the acreage for the next few days. And I got a stealth one that I'm waiting for the perfect weather for, because I really want a stormy stealth camping trip. That's just a challenge I think I've done maybe once before, maybe twice. It's normally the cold weather where I'm really struggling with the elements. But I love like a good rainy one where I just sit under my hammock or under some tarps and, pretty much make a day of it. Browse the internet, play some cards, a little solitaire in there or something. Cook a good meal, some hot chocolate, dump in a generous portion of Bailey's, that type of thing. So stay tuned for that. And I have actually a couple of pretty cool ideas coming up. So I'll be working on those throughout the weekend, as well as other duties at the acreage. So thank you all for watching. We will see you next week. Now you've been camping with Steve.
Hey, isn't that another switchback? Who's the son? Why am I doing this?
Ingredients you feel good about with all the flavors kids love. Win the snack time battle with Simply.
Hey everybody, welcome to Camping with Steve. I'm back in the land of winter, and it's been very cold here. I'm back to visit friends and family over the next couple of weeks, and Christmas season has been hard on me this year. I didn't really realize how much things like Christmas music would set me off hearing it in the store. It's just obnoxiously cheerful. However, I want a sense of holiday spirit around here. So Crazy Neighbor and I picked up a few strings of Christmas lights, and we're going to put them up on the treehouse. I'll set up the treehouse with the heater and see how good that insulation works, because it's warmed up a little, but it was like close to minus 30, getting down to minus 40 with the wind chills. So it's been pretty cold. We don't have a fireplace installed here yet. A little small for that. So we get some heat from this little outlet here. Lovely. The LED bulbs are efficient, but they might flicker a little bit in the video. They seem to do that sometimes. Not a lot of fire starter here. I was ready to use these boxes, but Crazy Neighbor already had the gasoline out, so that'll work too. Things are coming along here. Of course, we haven't cracked the step 2 because ladders in the dark, step 2s, don't mix. And although we could have started this project bright and early, when have I ever done anything like that? Hey, Crazy Neighbor. We got all the lights up we had, and it's pretty bright. I thought we'd get more on here with the whole shopping cart we got. But with that done, it's time to entertain a frosty yet delicious step 2.
They're not frozen. They've been outside. Oh no.
Cheers, crazy neighbor. Thank you.
Not even like Slurpee. It's good.
Thanks for the help. Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, glad to be here. Don't you love the sound of that crunchy snow, Steve?
Nope.
Way better than that. Maple leaves, no leaves, well.
Yeah. So, believe it or not, we have power trenched into the treehouse. Up to code. And right up there. Good stuff. And yeah. So the real cool thing here is crazy neighbor noticed this thing was for sale. And that makes the lights in 3 different things do all these crazy designs.
That's a good one.
But this one I think is our favorite. They all kind of fade on and off. So yeah,
Pretty good for a treehouse.
really ties the forest together.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Need some more calls.
Fire is going and we're getting ready to cook. Got to do some meal prep, but there's no sense to do it out here in the cold. I'm gonna go up into the nice warm upstairs of the treehouse and do that there. Hey, crazy neighbor.
It's supposed to warm up here.
Sure is. Meal prep time.
Ooh, mushrooms.
We're doing our age-old thing where we have this deli sliced beef and au jus, but we're spicing it up today with bell pepper, onion, and mushrooms, and top that off with some havarti. Because yeah, it should be quite tasty. But it's so nice and warm in here. Like
It is. I can't believe it.
even
What is it? Minus 17, 18 below outside?
according to the truck, online it says
You
minus
can't see your
12.
breath?
No. It's nice and warm in here.
It is.
No worries about that.
Okay, I'll deal with that.
Maybe,
Watch this.
there's a few more seeds.
We might have peppers in the spring.
Well, the green are just the immature reds. Yellows are different and orange. But with the green peppers, I don't know if those seeds would be viable if the fruit isn't ripe yet.
Gatorlight, a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes with rapid rehydration. Gatorlight, is it in you?
Join millions growing their career with Coursera. Start learning today. Moving should fit your lifestyle. Only pay for the space you use.
He has too many clothes.
Take your time. Make memories. UCAT's flexible options let you move on your schedule. With no hidden fees, you can move on your terms.
Your move should be as unique as you are. Move your way with UPAC. We drive, you save. Visit upac.com for a free quote today.
Last season on Jeopardy!
How is anybody ever going to beat this guy?
A shocking end to a streak for the ages.
Did not expect to win.
Now, the stage is set. Who will step in and light it up? New players.
It is very fun.
Bigger stakes.
I'm excited already.
And a chance to shine.
What a great competition.
The all-new season of Jeopardy!
Yes, finally.
Check your local listings.
Dutch oven, a little oil, and we'll get the vegetables going. Just gonna dump it all in at once. Wow, that's a lot of.
Is that the way it's usually done?
I usually put the mushrooms in last because they wither down to nothing in no time. Okay, that's cooking good. I'm gonna dump in the rest of it and hope for the best. Deli roast beef slices, these packages that actually have roast beef with a sauce in it. With the addition of all these vegetables, need some water in there, and another package of au jus mix. Lovely. On a scale of 1 to 10, Dutch ovens are very forgiving with uneven heat. So, campfire, there's no power setting on it, but does a pretty good job of preventing things from burning on the bottom. And yeah, let's let this simmer for a bit. We'll come back to this because I gotta warm up in the treehouse. Nice to have a place to warm up, and I'm interested to see over the next week. It'll be minus 30 here. Is this going to be comfortable with just a little space heater? I'll find out. But so far, I got good hopes. You can't see your breath at all. It's when we were setting up Christmas lights, I actually had to take my jacket off. So it's a good setup.
Okay, some gloves for that.
We'll find out. Nope.
Good.
All good.
Yeah, shoelaces.
Grab yourself a bun.
One for each, yeah.
Now, what do you think about that?
I think that looks just awesome. Look at this. Wow.
Don't mind if I do. There we go. This should be pretty acceptable.
Check it out.
3 thumbs up. Got everything I need from downstairs, and time to get to bed, hit the hay, and turn in for the night. I think that's all the words there are for it. So, without further ado, get these wet, snowy shoes off. Throw on a little bit of a documentary or something that me and Crazy Neighbor can watch and fall asleep to. And see you guys in the morning. Just gotta shut off the lights.
Right, guy.
And everybody. Ooh, I love this. It's good. Good morning. Crazy Neighbor is already up and about. I like to sleep in though, so I did. The treehouse, it's not even a treehouse. This is like a regular house. I have better sleep in here than I do in the acreage at the actual house. So I think I know what that means. I think I'm moving out here. I had to turn the heater down last night to half, so that would be like 750 watts to heat this place in the sub-freezing temperatures. And these are not double pane windows. It's just a thin piece of plastic, and there's no sweepers under the doors. There's gaps in there, but there's so much insulation in the ceilings, walls, and floor of this place that all it really needs in here is a rug to tie it together. And I could live a happy life here easily. But we're going to wander around. I'm going to show you kind of what's happened while I was gone. There's a ton of snow on the ground, so there's not really that much to see. But we got the rail lines kind of graded and cleared for you in the rail lines. We got some electric ones, so let's go take a peek at that and see the house. So, of course, on the side of the treehouse, we have this legally trenched in 15 amp circuit that feeds the whole place. And the rest of it is quickly turning into barn wood. This will be barn board in no time. Doesn't take too long to make your own. And what's supplying that treehouse is got this panel out here. It's a 100 amp sub panel, and we've got these 3 circuits here and a 30 amp RV plug-in because when we have guests here, they can just plug in their RVs, and it makes everything good. We have to drill a hole for these cables on bottom, but that's where we're at there. We had a bobcat out here for a month, and we got a lot of work done that we needed to on the driveway, etc. But I made it a priority to get a rail grade. So what we have for a rough rail grade, we're still going to have to tweak it, but from the treehouse down here, we've kind of got a little nice path snaking through the woods. We surveyed out about the most level ground that we could find. Had to take out a few trees. So train will come through here. Then out into the field here, and it'll probably go one of 2 ways. Oh, so cold and crying. It'll go one of 2 ways here. Might put a Y up here, not sure, but this makes a good quad trail or a snowmobile trail for right now as well. Yeah, so we'll likely get over there with the rail and continue along the edge of the property there. Oh, moly, there's a bug in the house. Your garbage. Sit. There you go. I can proudly say
that Steve Wallace is no longer a laundromat guy. Look at that. I can do all my laundry right here in the house without putting it in a garbage bag and taking it into town. No more going to the YMCA for me. Just look at that. Right here in what's going to be the master bedroom. Just a strictly temporary thing so that I can wash my nasty self when I'm out here. So that's really, really great. Because, yeah, YMCA, despite what people believe, it is not fun to stay at the YMCA. And, yeah, scaffolding is good bunk beds for when I'm not out in the treehouse, which I think I will from now on, because still an awful lot of construction to be done around this place. And they start early. Garbage has got this little center here, the big climbing fort from the apartment. But our carpenter Dave has also made this, a catio that he can go out there. And there's even so much as the end of this catio, a bird feeder. So garbage can climb out there and just look at the birds all day long. This Christmas light setup looks way more of a fire hazard in the daytime than it did last evening when it was dark. But I'm sure it should be good. I have to thank the folks that have supported the channel. So thank you all so much. I've been missing a few videos. I had a head injury here about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little more than 2 weeks, and had a huge black eye. My face was all smashed up because I slipped on the ice, probably after too many step twos, because it was crazy neighbor's birthday. I'm not trying to blame anybody here. Got to take accountability for my own actions. I slipped on the ice because it's not very common out on the coast, and it's very different than here. I'm expecting ice everywhere I go here, so I'm always kind of walking on eggshells like a penguin. Now out there, it'll be dry or wet pavement that you can easily walk on, and then around a corner behind a shadow, it's a big slick of ice, and it catches you by surprise. So it's a learning curve for me, but I promise to do better in the future at being more responsible when it comes to gallivanting for birthday parties. So we're enjoying what is still a fairly cold day here by most of the world's standards, but it's going to get very, very cold. You know, like this is right now, I mean, minus 4 degrees Celsius, so we're probably in the 20s Fahrenheit, and it's going to get minus 30, which is getting closer to the minus 30s Fahrenheit. That's going to be minus 20 something Fahrenheit, I'm sure. So I'm really not looking forward to that. I'm trying to figure out what I can do that is outdoor camping oriented without putting myself at risk of freezing to death. Because I started filming these videos in my 30s, and sleeping outside in minus 40 was a novelty. Now I'm in my 40s, and my hip's not getting any better. I'm feeling this. So I got to try to find a way for all of us that are not necessarily in our prime any longer to get out and enjoy the winter without hauling tons of stuff and freezing. Got to figure out a way to do this comfortably. So we're going to see what I can come up with there. Put my mind to it. We did take the Via Rail train back to Edmonton, and that was a fantastic trip. It's like the Amtrak of Canada, but nobody here seriously uses it to commute. It's more of a bucket list adventure thing, which was what everybody on the train was doing. I filmed that journey, and I'll be putting that up on the Steve Wallace Step 2 channel to show folks what it's like. Now, I know when I tried to take Via Rail, I had very tricky time navigating the website. It's not very clear what anything means. Like for a non-avid train traveler, you know, what does a berth mean? What's a lower and upper berth? What's the difference? I just didn't know how it worked. I didn't know if it would be like airport check-ins with security and luggage. Didn't know what time to show up before the train left. So on the way back, I'm actually taking the train again because it was a great trip. I'm kind of stranded here with no vehicle at the moment.
other than a school bus and a snowplow. So I'm trying to get around based at the convenience of others right now. So with that train trip on the way back, I'll film that, and it'll be like an actual more of a tutorial on how to take the train properly. And I'll film that. You know, I'm leaving back. I'll be on the train for New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve will ring in. I'll be on that train. And glad to see you guys again. I know, like, and I know people are going to say, don't apologize. You know, we'll watch. We'd hang out with you. We just want to hang out with you. And that's kind of what this video was. We hung up some Christmas lights and cooked a meal and slept in the treehouse. And I know it's not that exciting or entertaining. However, there's my mental health is, you know, it's been tough with what I've gone through. So to make a good video, I need to be in a good space mentally, or else it's going to show through in the video. It's just the way it is. It's not like a job in a factory where I can just sit there and mindlessly get my mind off things. I have to be somewhat creative. Physical facial injury doesn't help the process either, because you know, I have to be in good physical and mental shape to film a video that's going to be successful. And I think I'm on that path right now. This is the tough time of year to get through, and I'm getting through it. You know, I'm not an absolute wreck, and I can pull myself together here and there. So today I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm in good spirits about the next week coming up. And so with that, I'm gonna ramble on. And oh, who is this?
Hi, Steve.
Hey, crazy neighbor.
Hi, guys.
My best friend, crazy neighbor, and he enjoyed the train trip as well.
Absolutely.
And on the way back, I'm taking the train. I think you're pretty much sold on the trip.
Yes, thank you. Let's just be a few weeks behind you, that's all.
Yeah. And another thing people are going to ask before I say goodbye, because people ask what I'm using all the time. This light blinker thing that was controlling the lights, we just picked it up from Canadian Tire, kind of a house brand. I think it's
I think it's a Noma.
Yeah. I don't want to give links or vouch for that because we've used it literally one night. And you do your own research. I don't want to stand behind a product that I've just used one day, and you know, it was cheap. It was like $25. Yeah. So we'll give it that. Technology's come a long way, and I'm sure there's ones that'll control 50 strings of lights and do a way better job of it. But
On the box it said this will control 6,000 LED lights.
yeah, so we've got quite a few lights up here, and I guess we'll have to add more to the set every year. So I'm aiming to be filming this weekend, and there will be a step 2 video up about that train trip. So please stay tuned, guys, and wish me luck. Cheers, everyone.
If your travel trailer is uninsured, you could run into issues down the road. Protect your RV with Progressive. Quote online in as little as 4 minutes.
Lowe's knows that as life changes, so do your priorities. Painting the town red takes on a whole new meaning. Powering through now takes power tools. The need for great lighting is actually the same, but the weeknight dance floors look a bit different. And with the quality and affordable Lowe's brands, we'll help make sure you don't have to compromise. Keep living it up the way you want to. Get more from our brands for less, only at Lowe's. We help you save.
Welcome to Camping with Steve. Today we're in the city of Lethbridge. Beautiful weather here, a lot warmer than what we had in Edmonton, an area. And we're going to go do some stealth camping. New city, I have not really been here. I've been here once. So I've looked around to see if I can find a spot to stealth camp, and it's a little tricky, but I found a spot that should do. Time for new shoes, or some shoe glue or something. These have done a good job, but I guess they just couldn't handle any more camping. There's lots of spots along the river. And it looks like they'd be awesome if there was some foliage on these cottonwoods. But there isn't. So we're gonna have to go a little farther into the woods. Well, there's this kind of mixed use trail, mostly for, looks like mountain biking. Nice little swimming hole that you can't swim in. And I'm gonna have to get off the beaten trail here. I gotta be careful because there can be rattlers around here. A bit earlier in the season to see them. I've heard April is the time you start to worry. But I'll keep an eye out. Clearly, since one of my shoes lost all the tread off of it, gotta tread carefully for a couple of reasons. There's an old survey marker there, which might be where the technical high water line comes up to for the river. And I haven't seen any private property signs, but there are some buildings up there, certainly major road there. I do believe we're still in the park though, I hope. And these bushes up there, that looks just about right. Made it into a series of game trails here. I shouldn't have to worry about bears because this isn't their biome of choice. This is kind of arid, not true desert, but getting there. Lots of deer around though, I know that. I've seen them in the city itself. This spot, I think, will do perfectly. The exact clearing I was looking for. And I know there's probably a lot of deer that hang around here, but I don't think it would cause me too much of a problem. Very warm today. 14 Celsius, which I think is 57 or so Fahrenheit. If Google was telling the truth when I Googled it. And yeah, I'm going to set up a cot here, kind of make it camping under the stars, but I have a little bit of a camel blind that I'll put up just in case there's anybody further out in the trails that would see all the neon blue sleeping equipment and stuff. Ta-da! Dead. This will do just fine out here under the stars. I don't see any footprints really in this part of the park. I could see maybe dogs running around off leash in the morning for dog walkers. But this park is pretty much off the beaten path. I don't see any signs of people around here other than that one empty, which will be coming with me on the way out of here, along with a bunch more. And yeah, this is awesome. So I'll try and drape up my little camouflage camo netting thing to see how that works. I find some of the best stealth camping stuff you can find is in the hunting department and not in the camping department. And it's just, hunters know how to hide and they know how to do it usually in comforting style. So, years of technology being invested into hunting blinds resulted in this wonderful thing. This is the most appropriate to the surroundings I could find, but you get the idea. Okay, I think this hides me pretty good because the only trail is kind of way back on that side. There's nothing behind me other than more woods, more woods, more woods. So nobody should be able to see all the stuff I got behind here. Wow. Caught. it's all just hidden away. So yeah, I can chill out behind here. I don't think people are ever going to see me. Okay, the hard work is all done. Time for a step 2. I don't even know where this is made. It's called OT Brewing Company, but I like the name of it. Bush League Pilsner. Because I'm out in the bush today. And where is it made? Of course, I'm colorblind and I can't read the red on. Oh, Calgary. There we go. Fairly local. I can shook it up. It's hoppy. Good and hoppy. That's the extent of my beer knowledge. I'm going to get into the gear that I picked up today. I was working with what I could find in Lethbridge because I like to support local when I can if I'm out in different cities. And also, I didn't want to break the bank with anything. I picked this up from Atmosphere. It's a Marmot NanoWave 25 degree. Somebody's walking around here. Just lay low for a sec here. It seems that the hikers have hiked on through. So, I'm just going to go over the gear I picked up today. It's a NanoWave Marmot. Got it from Atmosphere, I believe. I like to support local when I'm camping in these towns. And actually, the price was not bad. I think it was $130 on sale or something. Claims to be good down to, well, they say 25 degrees Fahrenheit. And then they have a limit here of 28.6 Fahrenheit. So I'm not sure what's going on. -2 Celsius. Do I believe that? No. Which is why I've got a bag liner from Sea to Summit. If it gives me one more degree, I'll be happy. So get this thing puffing up. I read the reviews on it, of course, after I bought it because I started to panic and thought I'd bought something dumb. But it's not discreet, but it's also not neon yellow, so that's a good thing. I tend to sleep a little warmer than most as well, so we'll see what it does. But it packs up so nice and small. The other one, that big yellow one, took up my entire backpack. So any winter camping, I pretty much had to bring 2 backpacks, and it really stuck out. Quite obvious. But yeah, got this loft up. I'll give you a full report on this in the morning. Rest of the sleeping system, got this little climate static V2 air mattress sleeping pad thing. It's small, and I really treated myself to some smaller lightweight gear. I normally just have the big stuff with me, but it makes a lot more stealth camping situations pretty impossible. If I'm just bringing one backpack like this, it's obvious enough as it is, with a bedrolls tied onto it and water canisters and everything. So, yeah, new gear day. And again, you know, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I'm sponsored by people who have donated to the Beer Donation Fund and Gear Donation Fund and Bail Donation Fund, because a lot of people want to see me out here trying stealthy things, and this certainly makes it possible. So anyhow, doesn't have a self-inflating bag included with it, and I know you're not supposed to inhale directly into it because it'll get condensation inside, but that's what we're gonna have to do today.
If there's anything I know, there's no wrong way. As long as it's your way. It could be simple, a little flashy, but sometimes like that. How's that? You just feel it.
All customers get a no sweat bet every week 1 NFL game day.
You wouldn't know it. I heard a little rustle in the bush.